Hi! Welcome to this video. In this video, we will talk about the switch mode power supply. What is the switch mode power supply?
A switch mode power supply is an electronic power supply that incorporates a switching regulator to convert electrical power efficiently. Like other power supplies, an SMPS transfers power from a DC or AC source to DC loads, such as a personal computer, while converting voltage and current characteristics. In comparison to a linear power supply, a switching mode supply's fast transistor alternates between full on and full off states, with low dissipation and spends comparatively less time in transitions, with high dissipation, minimizing wasted energy. In an ideal switch mode power supply, there is no power loss.
Because the transformer can be far smaller, switch mode power supply can be also significantly lighter and smaller than linear supplies. This is because the contrast to the 50 or 60 Hz mains frequency. It runs high switching frequency that ranges from several hundred kilohertz to several hundred megahertz. Despite the smaller transformer, commercial designs often have substantially higher component count and accompanying circuit complexity. Due the power supply architecture are needed for electromagnetic interferences and suppressions. When switching regulators are needed, linear regulation are swapped out of them with higher efficiency. A smaller size or a lighter weight are needed. However, there are more difficult switching currents which, not carefully suppressed, can lead to electrical noise issues, and smaller design may have a lower power factor.
From induction coils use switches to generate high voltages in 1836 up to 1980, where the HP 8622A 10 kHz to 1.28 GHz synthesized signal generator went a switch mode power supply. This electronic device went so many improvements and upgrades to achieve its desired goals.
In comparison to similar voltage regulator circuits manufactured from discrete components like a Zener diode, a resistor, or transistor, and even op-amps, linear voltage regulators are typically far more efficient and simpler to deploy for a dedicated switch mode power supply. The most linear and fixed output voltage regulator types are by far the 78, the positive output voltage series, and the 79, the negative output voltage series. These two types of complementary voltage regulators produce a precise and stable voltage output ranging from about 5 volts up to about 24 volts for use in many electronic circuits. This is the typical DC power supply.
Switch mode power supplies or SMPS are becoming commonplace and have replaced in most cases the traditional linear AC to DC power supplies as a way to cut power consumption, reduce heat dissipation, as well as size and weight. Since switch mode power supplies are progressively becoming a much more mature technology, they can be now found in the majority of personal computers, power amplifiers, televisions, DC motor drives, etc., and pretty much anything that needs a high efficient supply. A switch mode power supply is a type of power supply that by definition produces the needed output voltage using semiconductor switching processes as opposed to conventional linear methods. A power supply switching stage plus a control circuit make up the fundamental switching converter.
This means that when the switching transistor is fully on and conducting current, the voltage drop across it is at minimal value. And when the transistor is fully off, there is no current flow through it. So the transistor is acting like an ideal on-off switch. A switch mode power supply can provide step-down, step-up, and the negotiation of the input voltage using one or more of the three fundamental switch mode circuit topologies, which are the buck, boost, and the buck boost, in contrast to linear regulators that only give step-down voltage regulation. These names describe the connections between the smoothing capacitor, inductor, and transistor switch in the fundamentals of switch mode power supply circuit.
These are the examples of schematic diagram and PCB layout for a switch mode power supply. This is the switch mode power supply topology table that shows the output voltage of the SMPS. The switch mode power supply can now be found in the majority of PCs, power amplifiers, televisions, DC motor drives, and pretty much anything that needs a highly efficient supply. And that is
The switch mode
Power supply. Thank you
you
for
for watching.
watching.